What's wrong with that?
Wow.
Hey, finally.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. What's good?
It's connected.
Finally, we've been trying to do this for like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so easy scene.
I'm good. What's going on?
I just did some workouts, but meantime, I was waiting for you. And I was gonna take like about a 40-minute walk. And
Right.
that's was like, yay, you're ready. Finally. I was like, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, like we were trying to like conduct this podcast like all day. Um Basically, I was sleeping. It's part of my fault, sir. I
Right.
was sleeping. I was sleeping. Then you was getting ready. And when you was ready, I was on the phone.
Right.
And
And
when I was ready, you had to go
me.
out. Finally now. Oh gosh. So how everything been?
Corona-ish, you know. Just
I know.
yeah. It's been a lot. It's a lot
Yeah.
happening.
How, speaking of that, how the coronavirus currently affecting you?
When our country is on lockdown, so most of the business places are closed except for like pharmacies, groceries, and like hardwares, but everything has a designated time. And I guess the one or two government jobs that they deem essential. But other than that,
Hmm,
everybody is home.
nice. And how about you? You have to work still or you're
No,
currently at home?
I'm in quarantine too.
Nice. Unfortunately, I had to work. Like I've been working for like 6 days straight,
Mm-hmm.
and like this is the first time like I finally get off, and I was like,
But that's
it'll
good.
be the perfect time to top him. So
It's
to
scary.
everybody who going to be listening to this, right? Kimi M, this is a rapper favorite, one of my cousins, one of my favorite cousins in the world, and tell everybody about yourself and what you do and stuff.
Um, well, music, everything else that I've done over the years, I've kind of dialed back on it, and now the full attention is 100% now on music. So I'm
Yeah,
working on a EP project, and but for now we're dropping them as singles basically. And right now I have a song out, and the music video is up for that too. The name of the song is Damelo, is a little Spanish. It means give it to me. And it's available right now on all streaming platforms.
that's right.
Yeah. And yeah, I did a Corona Palooza quarantine concert like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I remember with Germany and the gang.
Yeah, with the whole Pangea music team and all these people from all over the world, and that was fun.
Yeah, it was
That
really
was kind of
cool.
the most excitement I've had since the lockdown. So, so yeah, so that's basically my thing right now. Just trying to prepare more music and visuals to release because I mean everybody's online now. Like they have no choice because they have nothing else to entertain them. So
It's true.
yeah, so right now I'm working on some more things to put out there.
Nice. So, how did Domino first get started as the writing process and the producing process? How it goes?
Well, I wrote Tamalo actually before I met the producer that I did the project with. I
Hmm.
was doing a lot of writing and stuff like that, and I normally write from like life experiences and how things affect me. So I had the verses and stuff already, but I had instead of Damalo, I had Dimelo, which is what came to me first when I was writing. And I was just like, this not making really any sense. And not really going with with the lyrical content. So I was looking for something to replace it with. So I decided to go on Google. Because sometimes like when you have a word and you say it but it sounds wrong and you're not sure and you just had to double check. So it came up and it's like, yeah, okay, it's a real word, but then Damalo was right there, and I was just like, the actual meaning of it, it goes well with the actual voices. So I decided to change it from
Wow.
Dimalo to Damalo. And when I met the producer, I did it with Von Pro from Beatbox Productions here in Trinidad. And when I met him and I started working at his studio, I think Damalo was the second song that I recorded. And actually,
Second song.
yeah, we were going through like beats and stuff like that, and I heard the beat and I was like, I want to use this, and he's like, this? I was like, yeah. He's like, but this is like a reggaeton kind of beat, and I was like, yes. He's like, well, into this rap? I was like, yes, but I want to sing. I want this beat. So he's like, all right, cool. Let's put on one. Let me see what you have. But what he didn't know is I already had my lyrics. So I started recording one time, and he was just looking at me like, what? What are you saying? I was like, it's Spanish. She's like, okay, but what does it mean? It's sounding good, but what does it mean? I'm so confused. So like I had to like explain to him, what it was, and he's like, oh, okay, this real bad. We keeping this. I was like, okay, great. And that's how Damalo basically came into being with these songs.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
It's crazy because the way how you and Von Pro work ethic is like it's similar to like how me and one of my in-house guys, his name is Kyle, he's the one who produced Bills, how we is operate.
Uh-huh.
Basically, like he usually send me beats, right? Because I went to school with him.
Mhm.
And the concepts he had for the beats, and then when he sent them to me and I bring my own concepts, it's completely blow him off the water. So it's the point where he has just sent me beats just to see where I go take it. And how our relationship always been.
Hmm.
And even though I pay him and gave me royalties and stuff, like that how it always been. Like
Right.
it's just crazy. Can't wait to drop that song. Like it's one of my favorite songs I've ever made for the longest while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And with speaking about that, Bills is basically about well, when was this by when I dropped my EP? I dropped it in 2018, right?
Right.
And I had an EP and I had a budget to promote the EP. And what ended up happening was that a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, a lot of people just came in and just started asking for money to like borrow, and this is what give me back by next week. And I lent them the money, thinking that I'll get it by next week because that was the week I was supposed to drop the project.
Right.
They didn't give it back, and up to this day, I still haven't got back the money.
Really?
And yeah, and I was like so frustrated because the EP fall real short. Even though I feel like the EP did well,
Mm-hmm.
if I had the budget, it would have done way better than it's supposed to be. So when Kyle like sent me he sent me like 10 beats, right?
Right.
And I picked the beat, I picked that same beat. I was freestyling to the beat, and then I was like, wait, what? I was freestyling like actually freestyling the hook, and I was like, don't play with my money, nigga. I got bills. I was like, wait. I'm keeping this, and the rest was history. Like recording the verses, and that song was just crazy. Like I recorded with myself,
Mm-hmm.
Kente Abbott. He's an artist who went viral for See Me Fall. One of my friends who cosplays, she's also on the verse as well.
Oh,
Originally, it was a
is that the short,
hmm?
tiny girl with the cute little nose?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I know who you're talking about.
So it originally supposed to have two different features.
Right.
One of the guys, he wasn't really acting that serious about it, so I had to switch it to the girl. And then the other one was originally supposed to be with Lil B the bass card. But then some time ago, like around that time, I was using my bank card
Mm-hmm.
and it was using on the MTA. That was always flame on MTA so much. And when I used the card to get my Metro card,
Mm-hmm.
it ended up wiping out my whole bank. So I had to wait like 3 months to get back my money.
Oh.
So after that, I was like, too late to work with Lil B now. So instead I work with Kenzie, and it worked out. It worked out really, really good.
That's a lot. Yeah,
I know, right? Like
it
this music business is crazy.
is.
Yo. Speaking about music business, when did you first get started?
About 8 or 9 years ago.
Wow.
I was here for
How
a
did that
while. I
happen?
started really young. When I started locally, I was a teen, and but I never told anybody my age. And because I used to keep to myself a lot and act mature, people thought I was older than I really was. So so like now locally in the hip hop industry, I guess in Trinidad and Tobago, I'm still kind of the only female rapper, even though I switched from rapping to just doing all genres of music. I'm still kind of like, if you ask the older artists like Chromatics and Mark Hardy and even the rappers like Danjuma and Sicka Flow and these type of people, they would tell you that, only me they could really call because everybody else like drop one song or like drop a freestyle and then all these girls just disappear. But I started before all of them and I'm still kind of around. So people think like I'm this old bird, not knowing that I started young. So recently for my birthday, when they found out I was only 20 something, and everybody's like, how? I was like, well, I have some explaining to do. So remember that time when we met? I was like 18. It's like, what? Like, yeah, I was like 18, 17. I was really young. So I'm a veteran kinda, but at a young age. When it comes to rap, at least in the industry that we trying to build here locally in Trinidad. But um firsthand that hip hop in Trinidad is not really a highlighted thing. It's never been. It's like one of the most underground um genres there is. Um
Exactly. I can
mhm.
relate to that well.
And it's really hard. It's really hard. It's not like other genres where it's like soca, which is like the main income for the island. Everybody know about soca and calypso. And even jazz. Jazz has its own time. Tobago has a whole jazz festival
Yeah.
locally around summertime. There are a lot of different jazz events and higher society events where they have jazz singers and they'll have then Christmas is all about the soca parang and the stuff like that. So hip hop doesn't really have a place in Trinidad. I think the most we ever had for hip hop was when Nicki Minaj visited in 2010.
No.
Right? And Nebula 868, that's when they were the
I was about to say that.
yeah, but they don't.
When them blew up, it was like a whole game
Yeah, it was
changer.
like, ooh, what's this? Did this do this here? This is so exciting, um, so yeah, and then when I got into it, and I met all these amazing artists, and then I realized like hip hop is really underrated, at least on this side of the hemisphere. So yeah, and I stopped rapping for a while, and life stuff, and then I started dancing more because I was a dancer also, like doing different
Mm.
events like Super Monarch and stuff like that, and Baywatch and these type of things, and then after that I got into to radio because I was a youth ambassador for a local NGO for domestic violence against battered women and stuff like that.
I remember that.
Where we rescued women and children and stuff. And during that time is when I started interning at local radio stations. So I put on the music for a little while and I was focusing more on, using the little pips, I guess, that I had to try and help with the different organizations I was working with at the point in time. And
Wow, that is amazing.
mm-hmm, and then right before I decided to um, retire a little bit from the radio is when I met Devon Matthews. And well, God rest his soul, he passed away. And
Wow.
he,
Rip.
as he was back and forth with radio and music too. And the year of his huge hit is the year that he passed away. And
That.
I
Easy.
had the honor of meeting him, and one day I met him through radio, and then we just kept in contact with each other. And one day I reposted a old mixtape song that I did on Instagram. I posted a piece of the video, and it had Fayan and Bunji Garlin in it. It was when I first met them, and they both freestyle a verse each for me, and I was like, oh, I'm in heaven. I reposted a piece of that on my Instagram, and he saw it and he contacted me and he said, well, I know you do music too. I was like, yeah, well, I used to. He said, what do you mean used to? You're acting like it was a long time. I was like, if you only know. If you only know. And he was like, no, you need to keep pushing. You look like you have a real passion for it and stuff like that. And then he started to talk to me about his music journey and how his journey was with radio as well. And he's like, for a female, it's probably much harder because for him it was really hard. And he
Wow.
was like, you should keep going and keep pushing. And then when he passed away, I was like devastated because it's just like the only person at the time that was talking sense to me, that was making me like think about my decisions and stuff and what I really wanted to do. And then I was like, what if I don't keep pushing, I will look like a real asshole because I mean he didn't have to, give me all that great advice and be so nice and supportive. He didn't have to, but he did. And then shortly after, nobody else will be able to get that kind of wisdom from him ever again. So I thought to myself, like, yo, I need to get my stuff together. So I started I started back doing one or two freestyles and stuff, which is the recent videos that I put up last year and stuff like that. And then
Yes.
I was approached by Mal and Asha's management team, and they asked me to do a song with Mal and Asha. And I was like, okay, cool. And so for 2019, I guess when I jumped back out, I guess with original songs instead of mixtapes and freestyles. And that's when I did Peng with Mal and Asha. So that's too available on all
Classic.
streaming services, yeah. And so that was our song, I guess, for 2019. And after that, I started working on my EP after that because I was like, you know what, I have to keep going. I matured a lot and the way that I view the world and the way that I view things changed. So it's like, you know what, I need to let people know who I am now. So it's like I'll put all of those experiences in my music because I'm a woman now. I'm not a kid anymore. So definitely, my lyrics gonna be different because I experience, different things in life. And I started working on EP and
That is awesome.
yeah. It was a big eye opener for me with, who I wanted to be and stuff like that. And because I always tell people like, yes, it would be nice to have a profession, but at the same time too, wouldn't you want to make money doing something that you love? Because when you're
Exactly.
doing that and you're making money with something you already have a passion for doing, you're gonna put your all into it. You're gonna put 185% because this is something that's close to you. And you know what? The more effort you put into your work, the more profit you're gonna make because you're making sure your product on par. So it's just like I want to live like that. I want to do something that makes me happy, which just happened to be music.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm gonna do this EP. It's gonna take me a while because I've never done an EP before. And again in Trinidad and Tobago, it's kind of hard because if you're not a soca artist, nobody gonna take you on. So it's kind of the reason why I didn't release the whole thing and I decided to just put it out as singles, to give the songs time to circulate because they're a little different. There's some dance hall in there. I have reggaeton. I have songs where I have whole verses that in Spanish and stuff like that. So it's just like it's a mixture like island pop and so I was like, let me just ease it out. So I decided to start with Damalo, see how people take to it with me doing something different. because I did a lot of singing as well on this body of work. And so yeah, so they get a different side of me with this project.
Wow, that's so amazing. Like the way how you break this down, like I had to stay silent because it was like, wow, this is just like how I basically had it.
Oh.
And going on about that, right? As a person who like to talk about like me personally, I like to talk about like some of the hardest stuff what take place in my life.
Mhm.
And because I don't know, I just feel like it's therapeutic and at the same time it's always give like people perspective. So if you can't talk about this, it's okay. But I was wondering that if the reason why you stopped doing music was because of the label situation you had before.
Well, right. So that's our next story now. Well, what ended up happening, I got into that situation that all young girls in school get into where, they meet somebody and because they don't know about life, they trust this person completely. And that was really wrong thing to do. And that's what I did. I did the wrong, I did a bad thing. So um we I started working with that person because we know each other before as friends. And
Yeah, I remember that too.
and
Yeah.
we got close, and after we got close in the wrong way, they
Hmm.
then they realized that I was into music and stuff like that, and they was like, you want to sing, you want to be a singer, whatever. No, I was an artist. Well, I was in a parang group, singing traditional parang in Trinidad, traveling and stuff like that,
Nice.
and but I wanted to be a solo artist because I always saw when we were performing and stuff around Christmas time and to see a demographic of people, elderly, kids in between, everybody just dancing and laughing and having the best time. And it's so nice to see that people enjoy your music. And from those years of doing parang, I always thought to myself like, how would I feel seeing somebody so happy the same way to my own words? Like how would that feel? So then I wanted to set out to try to be, a artist, like a solo artist and not just part of a group or a band. So
That's
hmm
crazy.
so when he was like, I know one or two people or whatever, I was like, okay, cool, well, that would be nice. So that situation ended horribly because I was paying for things out of pocket and I was not getting like the results, I guess. And also like in the beginning, sometimes the manager might tell you, okay, they have to do 1 or 2 shows pro bono because you're new on the scene and people don't really know you and
Mm.
so I was like, okay, well, yeah, I guess I could understand that people have to know what they're paying for. And after we parted ways, I found out after that, I actually got paid for these jobs. So I was basically being used. Yeah, for a
Wow.
while I've been performing for free, thinking, networking and stuff like that, not knowing that I was actually getting paid for these jobs.
That's
I know,
insane.
right? So, and after that experience, um, which would have broken a lot of people, which is why I disappeared from the scene locally for a while because I needed to,
I know.
fix myself as a person and get my mind right because, it was a big turn off from the whole music thing.
Hmm?
It was, which is why I took a break because, um, I was young, I was fresh out of high school, and I didn't know anybody in the local industry, and I was, and I met this person that I trusted, and everything just went left. So it's not like I had somebody where
Hmm.
I could ask for advice on this or that. So, and I was believing in their words. So it ended badly. But when after speaking to Devon and stuff like that, I realized like because I was thinking I wasn't good enough. Why am I getting booked or why nobody paying me for shows? and they were. I just didn't know they were. So then I
Yeah,
think to myself, like, you know what? My music is worth it. People do want to hear what I have to
it
say. I'm
is.
not worthless because even though I didn't receive any money, people thought my music was worth something to pay for it. I,
And you built a really good fan base too.
it took me years.
I'm because I remember I was there for like the beginning,
Yeah.
like before you was even posting up your pictures to reveal yourself, and you was like, "Yo, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do
Yep.
that," and to see you like be so consistent and then just disappear, like I was real like
Yeah,
pissed.
I was
But then
real.
like, now I understand like why what happened because um I
No,
interrupted
no, no.
anything
Go
or not?
ahead.
Nice. So but yeah, so that was basically it. Like they just take all your royalties and all the stuff you're supposed to earn, and they just disappear and like that. I hate these kind of people. I hate these people so much because like that is part of the reason why I had stopped doing music for a while as
Mm-hmm.
well. Yeah, because it wasn't because I was in a label. Well, I was in like two labels, but I left the label because I was way too depressed to like be in labels. Like I wasn't putting out any music. I was way too depressed. But it was mostly because I kept getting ripped off by other artists.
Mm-hmm.
Like it had like a lot of artists out there. The biggest one everybody know about is the Streetlight situation, where I basically paid him for a feature. I got the feature. He wanted me to do a music video, and I had to pay the cameraman, but he didn't like make any effort for the music video for like a year.
Mm.
And then like after the year, now I finally called him out, and then like it was like he started insulting me, calling me names, degrading me, like the putting a full 180, and people didn't believe me at first. So that was caused me to get really, really depressed because like he sends himself out as a Christian rapper, but he's not doing the same things he used to do. So when I first put it out, this is what happens, right? When I first like talk about it publicly, because I get fed up
Mm-hmm.
by it, people didn't believe me. It was like, oh, he's a Christian rapper, he don't do them stuff, he too positive. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, whatever. And then some years later now, one of these guys, the video's still up on YouTube too, where he exposed
Right.
Streetlight, and he ended up reaching out to different artists who got ripped off him as well, and they made that video, and the video went viral. And ever since, like he completely fell off. Like he's still making little views and stuff, but he's not as big as before. And even though like the video came out, and this is the next part what I didn't tell anybody,
Right.
right? He after the video come out, he actually came back and reached out to me, and he wanted to give me back my money. But what he wanted to do was give me back half of the
Why
money.
half?
And I was like, hell
But
no.
why
Hmm?
half?
Because he paid the video guy already. I was like, hell no, I didn't get no video. No, nobody should no video. And then like he keep arguing man for like back and forth for weeks. I was like, you know what, send the money. He sent the money through PayPal, and guess what happened? A month later, he refunded the money. And I was like, at that point, I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? He probably spent our money on some shoes or bills or something, and
Hmm.
in the end of the day, like I'll just leave it up to life. That is all. Like, karma. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
I didn't have to worry about
that
it
will
again
come
because at
back
that
to
time I was
him
already broke.
eventually, and then he will know how
Yeah,
it feels.
but I know, right? And then like I kept getting ripped off by a lot of artists. Like even when I was in audio school, I got ripped off by some of my
Mhm.
classmates. Like one of them, she sold me a
Right.
beat, and the very next day, I ended up stumbling the beat on YouTube, and it's from a producer I was listening
What?
to. And it was his beat and not her beat. So I was like,
She just
wow,
rub you blind.
yeah. And then another local artist from Trinidad, he made me like mix like three
Hmm.
albums, and he didn't pay me, and he cut me off completely. You probably know who he is. You probably know who he
Mm.
is.
I know most of the people
Yeah,
down here, so yeah, I probably would have.
yeah, you would know for sure. And like after getting ripped off back to back and back to back, I ended up getting so depressed that like I didn't even want to do music. That was the time where I was home in Trinidad for the
Hmm.
year and we linked up. And I think that was the time where you finally started back and you dropped the Panda remix. Like that was
No,
freaking awesome.
that too was a real hard time because after that,
Wait,
yeah,
really?
because even though I was working on that kind of mixtape, but at that point in time. it still didn't go anywhere. At first, to be honest, I didn't want to do it because the producer I was working
Mm,
with at the time, I was telling him like Trinidad, there is no longevity with stuff like these. And I was telling him, I want to do other music besides rap, but at the end of the day, he's like, you have to restore your reputation as a rapper and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I know, but I don't want to rap no more. Like, why nobody want to listen to me? Everybody just want to make me rap, you know? And we end up
mhm.
doing the mixtape still, which was good practice for me to try to get through what I was going through. And I still took a hiatus after that. I took a hiatus after that also because
Wow.
I
But
felt
still,
trapped
like,
in a kind of way. It's just like, okay, yes, I know publicly as a solo artist, I debuted as a rapper. Yes, I know that. But so much years has passed. Y'all didn't hear the music from me for so long. Like, if I want to change my genre, I don't see, what's the issue with that? Because at the end of the day, I didn't start off as a rapper anyway. I've been doing parang music and
true.
writing pop songs and all of these different things, But again, the initial people that I started working with, they were pushing this narrative. So even though I was trying to record other types of songs, they wanted the rap out. So they pushed the rap. So that's why, and that label just stuck with me throughout the years. So it's like no matter what I do, even when I was radio hosting, a radio personality, I was still being referred to as the rapper. And it was just like, yo, I sing too, guys. Like, come on. And it stuck. It stuck. It real stuck. It's only after the collab that I did with a bigger artist that people was like, oh, that was as a dance. So she real bad thing. I was like, I've been trying to tell you guys this for like a really long time. Like I do other genres of music, you know? So it's really hard to get out. Once you get labeled, especially down here, once you get labeled, like you can't do anything else. Like right now, so like okay, so a perfect example of that is like you can say like Shensia. Shensia is a dancehall artist. Even if she does another genre
Hmm?
of music, I don't think anybody it's gonna be a very long time to try to get that narrative to change because she'll always be referred to, as, the dancehall princess or dancehall artist, you know? Same thing with
Hmm?
Nyla Blackman. She's the princess of soca, right? And she's very,
Yep.
very good at it. However, she did a song called Dangerous Boy. That's not a soca,
I
but
remember
people's
that
calling
one.
it a soca. It's not a soca, right? She did a song with Taurus Riley. Taurus Riley is not a soca artist. That song definitely was not a soca. But at the end of the day, that was the title that the label she first got. So it's gonna stick. And I think that's the thing with Caribbean. I think it's a Caribbean thing. I think it's a Caribbean thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, people it's like to put people in a box way too much. Like, that why trying to like break out of like certain stuff now. Like when I started the EP, like this is was like when we first meet. And speak before I continue, I would like to thank you,
Hmm.
especially because during that time I was like really,
Way
really
back
depressed and like hanging out with
then.
you all the time. Like it really, really helped a lot.
Yeah. I was depressed too. And that's actually how Kimmy's gonna started through my depression. And I had no friends and I had no one to talk to. And a day I talk to myself a lot because I'm the only person I'm around. And a day on work I was talking to myself and I realized I give myself good advice. I could just never remember anything that I say after I said it.
It
Yeah,
happened to
so
me
I was
too.
sitting at my desk and I was like, let me record this and see what Manus has been saying. And it was it made sense. I was like, and something in my head was like, you need to post this, and I didn't want to because it's my first time doing anything like that, and I posted it,
I
and
remember
then
this. I
and
remember it
then
now.
people started messaging me
I
and
remember
asking me for advice and telling me about their problems, and I was like, whoa, what's happening? I just Why is this happening? So then, and then Kimmy's gonna started because apparently people care about my opinion. And
Oh, how?
every week or every few days, I used to do one because it will also have a girl or a guy, a random person who I don't know, just inboxing me, asking me for advice because, and telling me about. So when I did a Kimmy's Corner, I would respond to it as how, if it were me in any situation, how I would have dealt with it. And I
Mm,
was like, I'm not a counselor or expert, so I can't tell you what to do with your life. But if I was in a situation, this is how I would have looked at it. And then that's actually how I started working on the radio station because then Kimmy's Corner was a hit and it was like they reached out to me and that's how I ended up working on the radio. And which was a disaster because I turned into a monster because then now it's just like every week, you're uncensored talking about all these different topics. So now I have a tendency like I talk before I speak before I think and I can't help it and now everything is just come up my mouth. So yeah, so but I was really I felt like I was going crazy and I was having all these weird thoughts of weird things that I would have never thought about. And depression is a scary thing. And the reason I say that is because when it's gone, you think it's gone, but sometimes it's just there, just waiting to pounce, just waiting for you to have that one moment of doubt in yourself, and then it's just, hi, I'm back, you know. So like,
I
yeah.
know, right? Like, like even when you're treating like when you're doing all that you could, because I used to be really, really
Mm-hmm.
depressed like way back then. But even though I was always like treat myself like the way that I don't go back to that position, somehow sometimes I
Hmm.
end up back there. And it's like this is a battle you have to face for the
It
rest of
is,
your life.
and I just wanted to give up. I felt truly, really and truly, I felt like it didn't make sense, like nothing made sense. And I was, again, if I didn't meet that man, I would have given up completely on music because I was at that point where I was just trying to phase it out, which is why I was doing so many different things. I was doing public appearances. I ended up in a local tattoo convention. I don't even know how, but they asked me to come in as a special guest. So one of my friends saw it, or there's somebody
You have the
pretending.
personality. You have the
True, yeah, but
personality
I don't
for it
want,
too.
yeah, but I had no tattoos. So they was like, how you reach on a flyer for the local tattoo convention? I was like, I don't know, but I'm going. And I went. It was fun. And I was trying to do so much different things to just distract me from the music because in my mind, like I was done. In my mind, I was done. And
That's
yeah, I
relatable.
felt like I
Like
couldn't go on anymore. And I don't know what it is about him, but he sparked something in me and I was like, you know what? Because everybody been talking to me, all the people around me who pretending to be close to me at the time, and everybody was talking to me, but it's like I just wasn't hearing what they were saying, you know. And I don't know if maybe it's the way that he said it, or I don't know, but it made me actually think and try to uplift my spirits, and that was the
some people.
best experience. I don't think I'd ever get something like that again in this lifetime. So every time I feel like giving up, I always think back to that moment.
That's
Hmm.
freaking awesome. Like what was the turnaround for me? Like it was when I was home
Right.
for the year, right? Like I just didn't want to do no music anymore. Like I just wanted to like
I
live a normal
remember because I
life
was nagging
and
you like,
but
when we doing this collab?
yeah, like I didn't want to do music anymore. And it was at the point where like even though I was saying I wasn't doing music anymore, like I was still like
Right.
really, really depressed. And then it was to the point where my wife was like my girlfriend at the time,
Mm-hmm.
who was my wife now. She was like, yo, I'm tired of seeing you suffering like this and I feel like I can't do anything for you, so you should just go back and do music and you should like just break up with me.
Oh,
And
really?
at that moment, like something fired up inside me, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do music, and I'm going to marry you the next year. And
Wow.
and and then like from straight from then, I started back doing music again. Like I did the
Mm-hmm.
whole EP in Trinidad, the first EP, and like I was like, you know what? I'm going back to America, and when I come back, you go you go work everything out. Somehow it ended up did. I ended up doing music, and that was the best thing that
Yeah, she was
ever.
probably
Like
so
I
shocked
really
and
needed
so
that push
happy at the
because
same time.
yeah, and then I end up learning one of the biggest like life lessons from this whole experience is that life is not really what happens to you, but what you do from now on. Like that will always
Right.
forever stay in my head. Like I remember like not even long before I left Trinidad again, I was working in a
Mm-hmm.
supermarket right in Peepins, and and this was the Christmas tour, and me and my brother, right? Me and he was the only like male workers there who came early. So from the time it was like late, he was real tired because Christmas shopping
Yeah.
is really packed and stuff. So all the workers really suffering. So it had this woman now, like I so tired that
Mm-hmm.
I packing real slow now. So it had this woman now, and she questioned me because
What?
I working too slow. So instead of people was like, oh, I was going to get pissed off, I was going to cry. Guess what I do instead?
What?
I end up laughing. Like I was laughing hysterically, like laughing. And then everybody, like, all of a sudden, the whole place get quiet because it was packed and everybody's watching me laughing while this woman
I
cussing me
would be
out.
like, Tanty, cut the
And she gets so
attitude and send
frustrated.
your address because I'm coming for harm later. Right?
And she was getting, and she was so frustrated because I wasn't taking her
Yeah,
seriously
but
at
they
all.
really love
I was just
something.
laughing at her, and she was getting pissed off and pissed off. And then, like, she ended up getting so pissed off, she walked away and almost forgot your groceries. And I was like, Miss, you forget your groceries. And
Oh,
then I started laughing more.
wow.
And then and people was like, "Wait, you real crazy girl." So I was like, "Dude,
Yeah,
nothing
she
she
still
say
had to
to
wait
get
for
to
you
me
to
anymore
finish
because this is not
packing
how I feel about
anyway.
myself."
She still had to wait.
This was real degrading me. This was real degrading myself. Oh, you're ugly. You'll
What
never
that
be
have
anything. I
to
was
do
like,
with the food
"You
though?
will
Like,
see." And all right. And you know what crazy too? Like sometime after that, it had 2 years to come in
mhm.
the supermarket as well. And the security was there. It was like I think they're laughing at me. I was like, why they laughing at me? And then they came to me and they was like real talking madness. And then he was like, wait, you dude, why you didn't say anything? And I was like, because that's not
Right.
who I am. Like as long as I know like if I know myself, right, then nothing nobody could say about me could really hurt me or
Exactly.
bother me anyway because it's like I don't know who I am. And that just gave me a whole confidence boost and I started making music again. Even though the music wasn't as good,
Hmm.
I will admit, but it's like made me really happy and I was able to grow more and more and more. And now it's to the point where I'm working on a new EP, which I like restarted like twice and now it's like gonna be crazy because I'm working with people I actually spoken to this time.
I don't know. It have some crazy
Wow.
people out here, and I've met a lot of them because in my field I still had to like have a regular job, and I was working in hospitality, and there I learned to deal with the most grotesque people, and it's just like I don't know how I would have survived, and so now because there are still a lot of people, more so older people who don't really know my face. And I try to, if I'm working, if I have to get like a regular job, I will try to get something that
Hmm?
is far away from the entertainment field as possible because there'll be times I'm walking through Port of Spain and it have kids in uniform. It's like, Kimmy! And I just be like, oh my God. I'm just trying to be regular today. I'm trying to be basic. Why is this happening? And kids are the best, but like the older folks, they don't really know. And something that shocked me too locally, I have a lot of kids that follow me, and it's just like so now it's just like I try to before I didn't really care of what I put up, but now it's just like I always think in my mind, like, you know, what if a kid sees this? How would I feel? Do I want them to see this? Like, I don't know. It just now it's just like I'm studying these kids like if there's mine. And yeah, that's why a lot of things I
That's
do also seem censored, which is something that has kept me back also in the local industry because if you notice down here, I don't know if it's the climate or if it's just the industry, but you have to bear skin to make it. And I've always avoided doing that. And I also think that has a lot to do with things because I try to not I break rules, or at least the things they say that I'm supposed to do. I always do the opposite of what I'm told I should do.
badass life.
So I don't know, but I think my music is more appreciated too outside of the country, and I noticed that as well because I think Germany started following me a few years ago, and I've been
I think it was like
and
your music.
I didn't know at first that he was an
Yeah, for your
artist
music.
because of his Facebook name, and we've been interacting for years. And I don't know if it's because of the UK article that was done on me a few years ago in the beginning when I first started out, if it was that or if it was a music video that they saw online. Uh, Really?
That was me.
Oh my
Yeah, I
God,
still about
you
music a
never
lot.
tell me. I should bite you.
That's the same. Like I always share music.
And I mean, I was like, I don't know.
Dude.
These people just found me, and I was like, okay, this is not weird.
Yeah, those guys
Mm-hmm.
are really, really cool.
Yeah,
Those
they
guys
are.
are really, really
He
cool.
is.
Like Money,
What?
No
Okay, so
Justice,
I
all
don't
those
know
guys.
all
These
of
guys are
them.
freaking
I just know
awesome.
him, kind of because I like his beard.
Mm.
Yeah. When I first saw his beard, I was like, ooh, I need to continue talking to so see what is good. But and then after that, I made a friend. She's from Jamaica, and she introduced her friends to my music, and then I got a following, a mini following in Jamaica, but it wasn't dancehall and it wasn't soca, so it was rap. So even though it was still hard for them, I guess, to digest at the time because they were carnival babies. So, but
Wow.
through I guess my looks and all the different things that I've been doing, so I got a little following in Jamaica, which I'm really excited about because Jamaicans hard to please with music. So just like Trini, hard to
Mm.
please. So I figured if these guys like me, I'm doing something right. And then of course I link up with the whole Japanese connection, which was amazing. And they were so supportive. And
Oh,
that's
I
the
remember those
thing.
guys.
I didn't meet them through
I
music.
remember those
I was
guys.
actually a dancer. I remember saying to dance. And Angie, she's a Japanese, but she does soca music. So she used to come to Trinidad every year.
I remember, yeah, the
She's a
Chinese
Jap.
soca
She's
song.
from
It's Chinese
Japan.
soca, I
She's
call
from
it? I can't remember which
Japan.
one.
She's not
Yeah.
Chinese.
I know, but I can't remember
um,
if it's song. No, it's a
she has a song
song.
called
You
Touchdown.
remember
That
the
was the year
song?
that I
Is
danced for her performance. I was one of her backup dancers.
hmm.
Um, and that's how we met. And I think I piqued their interest because every rehearsal I had a different color hairstyle. I had a different color shoes. I guess I
Wow.
always dress weird because I love anime. So then I made friends with the choreographers because they were always so excited to see what I was gonna wear the next time. And then I made friends with the artists. So and so I went to a backup dancer to her friend. And then one day I went to rehearsal and she found one of my music videos. I don't know how, but she found it because he was watching it. and on YouTube, and
Wow.
she's like, I didn't know you do music, and she told her, I guess her manager or who's dealing with her when she's here in Trinidad, and he's like, Kimmy, you just do music? I was like, no. He's like, so this is not you? I was like, yes. He's like, so he said, so you do music? I
Yeah.
was like, well,
That is
I'm
funny.
kind of dancing right now. He's like, uh-huh.
Wow.
He's like, okay, well, this is really good. And I was like, okay. And then yeah, all of us
Nice.
became friends after that, and they were very supportive. They would always ask about how the music going and if I'm doing any more music, and they would be on me as well, like what's going on. You want to do soca? Because again, all of them are soca babies. It's just like soca, soca, soca. Yeah, and then
I
I
know,
end up
right?
making friends with another Japanese artist, but she does dancehall, and her name is Moet. So I love
Yep,
her, the
that's
Asian
that's what I
wine.
remember.
That song was awesome.
Yeah. Mohead. Yeah, Asia. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the song I was talking about. That is the
You
song I was
mix
talking
them up.
about.
Asian Man is a recent song, but Angie's been doing soca for years. But Moet did a dancehall, and I know Chiaki through Angie and Marie and Kay and all the other dancers, and that's how I met Moet. So it's like I decided to support her because I mean, it is for somebody who don't know you and they so supportive. And that's something that yeah, it's like the best
Yeah,
feeling
that
in
is
the
the
world.
best.
And it's a
That is
really
really,
good
really the
boost. And so
best.
I did a challenge.
Wow.
I joined her Asian wine challenge and I jump in my little cat ears and my tail
I
and I was
remember
like,
that.
girl, I'm gonna support you. First Trinidad video, yeah. Tell them you have international fans, I got you. And I posted that on Instagram and she's like, this is so
Wow.
cute where you get these ears from. It's like, yeah,
Wow.
I like
So
anime, so I just have weird
that's
pieces of
crazy.
things around my house.
Me too.
So yeah, so
Wow.
mm-hmm,
So I was about to say, wow, the time almost like
true,
is almost an hour already. So I probably have about
right.
2 or 3 more questions to ask. So what was I about to ask again? Oh yeah. How did you react when you found out we was cousins?
It was so sad because when we first met,
Yo.
I was like, this guy's so cute. Oh, and that was his scene. Like he talks to me a lot, but is it just in my mind? It's like, what is this? What is this that I'm feeling? This is okay. And then we became friends. We randomly became friends. I don't even know how that happened. We just find each other, and we were just, we were just really good friends. So like that year when we that connection was made and it's like I know his mom. I was like, what? Why do you know his mom? Why? Why? What does that mean? Did y'all date? Is he your son? What's happening? He's like, no.
Wow. I remember your dad hit me up and he was like, oh wait, Paula? And I was like, wait, you know my mom? Because I look like my mom now, right? Because I gained a lot of weight, so I look like my mom. So he was like, yo, this is your mom. I was like, yo, this is my cousin. I
Oh
was like, what?
God. So you're telling me I was thinking of dating my family. It's like, way to tell me this, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, we both rap, we both like anime, but thanks,
I'm
thanks for that.
dead.
Okay, cool. Thanks. But yeah, but he's not my biological dad
Yo.
though. He and my mom, that thing that
Hmm,
couples do. They had a thing
true.
and
Hmm, hmm.
he well, I guess I was the daughter that he never had because his son, rest his soul, his son passed away, which was really sad.
Yeah, red
Um,
pass. Rest in peace.
I kind of grew
Yeah,
up
I
with
was really,
him
yeah, it
when
was
I
really
was
sad.
really young, when I was a toddler. We used to play mass together because they have a mass band and stuff like that. So I have like pictures with him from when I
Hmm,
was like, I guess 4 years old and stuff like that. Was it? Yeah. But his son wasn't really into music. And yeah, he wasn't really a music person. But I guess due to the connections that, him and my mom had in the past and stuff like that, and I basically grew up around them and I grew up with them. And, he was like, And then he turned out I was into the music. So we had like a connection because, he was a producer or engineer, and I was just in love with everything that was music. I was writing, I was looking for beats and melodies and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
me too.
So,
Sure, Ezekiel. He showed me a lot of stuff
mhm,
too. He introduced me to a lot of artists. He introduced me to Terry Lyons personally, and like we real
mhm.
cool now. So it's
He
like
knows
let
everybody. He
see
know
something so cute there.
everybody. He know everybody.
Oh yeah, and one more thing. Where did Kimi M
The name
originated from?
Kimi M. All right. So
Yep,
the M in
yep.
Kimi M stands for my last name, which is McCarthy, right? And Kimmy
Nice.
started as a mispronunciation of my name. Now, I I went to all
What?
girls school. They say it was prestige, however, I prefer that to city name. And but sometimes it have the group of girls that I don't want to say I don't want to say Indo Chinese because that was so bad. But some of them just talk with like this accent, like hi, yeah, like that,
Yep.
right? So I had these girls from my class,
I
one of my
mean,
female cousins and her friend has this really high pitched voice, right? And no, I've been writing music since I was in school and I was trying to find names. So I was using Mills, even though I wasn't an artist yet, I was in school, but I used to walk around my music books and stuff and everybody. And I was trying to get Mills to stick. And then when I first found out about Young Money, I realized it had a man named Mills. I was like, you know what? Scrap that. Start again. So so then but she always pronounced my first name wrong. And her voice so high, so it used to sound like she was saying Kimmy, Kimmy. She used to forget like the L's, the eel, and she's always pronounced my name wrong. And
yeah.
um, so sometimes they just used to call me Kimmy sometime, which I really didn't understand, but I was like, all right, cool. And then I was bullied a lot in school as well. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I was one of those kids that was nerdy, but kind of popular, but nerdy. And I used to get picked on a lot, especially by the boys' school next door. And people used to make fun of my head. Like, if I like have a big head, you know? And it had this guy, I remember he was the captain on the football team next door, and he used to make fun of me also. And Shaolin Showdown, it have a girl named Kimiko, which have a small body and a
Yeah.
big head.
Yep.
And yeah, they used to pick on me. And then I had
Yeah.
back then I'm mixed with Chinese also. So my eyes were really small in school. I had like widescreen eyes. And they used to pick on me a lot. And he tried to
Wow.
make a joke, and he called me Kimiko also. And it's really a negative story, but from different aspects, I guess. And that Kimiko that Kimiko thing
Wow.
real
And
hurt me. Like I used to go home and like cry about that, like you know. And when uh,
wow.
when I got older, and I again.
Okay, so the last part of that episode unfortunately ran out. So I'll just leave the rest of Kimmy's information where you could find her on all social media platforms. She's awesome and she's family. And see you guys on the next podcast. Peace.